Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and as you can see I've got a 6x8 pocket page here that is all 2x2 squares. These are always a challenge for me, so I want to show you what I did to get myself ready for this one. As you can see, I've left little notes here. Those are the file names of the photos that I need, the ones that have two on there like this one. That means one's for the front, one's for the back. I have to basically do the front and back at the same time because with pocket pages, of course, if I put sequins in here or something like that, it has to match both sides because it's going to show through. So I do plan to use sequins. I already have my trusty fuse tool heating up over here. Don't have anything picked out yet, but I know there'll be sequins. And then I had this little page insert with all of the photos that I've already selected. So I do need to cut these down to 2x2. That's half the battle to figure out how I'm going to make that work. So I have all of those. And then for the pockets, the only other thing I have considered other than sequins is to perhaps use some of these. These are all acetate circles that are perfectly sized for this 2x2 pocket. And they're all travel related. They're from an Allie Edwards travel release. And I don't even know if the colors will match what I've got going in here because I don't remember what's all in the photos anymore. But I have them, so I may pick out some of those to use as well. If those don't work, or maybe I only want one, then I'm going to have to figure out, do I cut down pocket cards? Do I make my own? What do I do for the pockets that are left? So what I'm doing right now is I actually have my computer files open for all of the photos that I took at Christ Church in Dublin. That's where this is from, what I'm working on today. So I have that open so I can see my file numbers, so I can match the photo to what I have here and then figure out my plan for arranging if I want to keep what I did when I first dropped these in, which was a while ago, or maybe I want to rearrange them after all. All right, I have cut down all of my photos and I did rearrange quite a bit. I think this is the configuration that I'm going to go with on here. I still have quite a few empty spots, but that's okay because one of them will be for sequins. The rest I can fill with those circles or with other things. But I do think I want the sequins right here. I wanted somewhat of a central pocket. This is pretty much towards the middle, so it was one of these two. For them to show through on both sides, it's going to have to be this one, so that I don't have to worry about. It's like a bingo card in a way. That's the free space. We're not going to do anything with that. And then I have to fill these. So I think what I will do first is look through these and find some things that match. I did notice there's red on both sides that shows up in the stained glass. And then over here, I've got some red seating there. There's red in here. So red is a definite color I could use. Also, there is this kind of teal or turquoise blue in the stained glass. In several places. Do I have it over here? Yes, over here as well, and here. So I know that there is red, and I know that there's that turquoise blue. So I think I'll start with those, look through what I can find. I hope the sentiments match, because if they don't, that might cause a problem. But I'll look through those first, and I'll go from there. Well, I'm excited because I forgot in here that they were also dark brown options. There's only a couple. This is the only one that had a phrase that I liked. And then gray as well for a neutral. This I don't know that I'm too crazy about because I would still have to embellish it, but I won't say no to it just yet. And then this one, which is pretty simple, might match with just about anything. So I like having those options. And then I still have quite a few left of the red and the turquoise or aqua ones. Some just had phrases that didn't work, but these were the ones that were left that I thought might be possible. So now I'm just going to take those, start arranging, and see what I can find and cross my fingers that it works out well. So far, this is what I have picked out. I think I'm going to use 3 circles each. I actually ended up picking this one because it's generic, and I know I have some red foam glittery stars, so I could put one right there if I wanted to, or I could do something else, but that's what's in my mind right now. So I've picked out these, so that is what they will look like. I haven't taken off any of the covering or anything yet because I just want to be absolutely sure. I tried to match colors to colors as much as I could. You will see a little bit, you know, from back to front, but I'm okay with that. That doesn't really bother me. If I really wanted to, I could put a white circle in between. I do have a 2-inch punch, so I could do that. We'll see how I feel as I go with the design here. That leaves me with one pocket on both sides that I need to fill. So I have this one, and oh, actually no, over here, oh, I have two. And you know what? They're all surrounding this central spot. I may go into, I wonder if I should go into my photos and see if there's any other one I didn't use that I could cut down. But for now, I think I will start picking out my sequins, because that will help me with color matches, and it might help me choose what I put in the extra pockets. So I have lots of options here. I can do brown, gray, white, or clear. I've got the aqua color. I've got red. Those are probably the best options. I don't want to go too wild. A little black there maybe. Well, black might be too dark, but I can start with those and put something nice together. I've picked out a bunch of different options here, so I'm just going to show you what I have selected so far. So I have this mix, which is a mix of gold and brown, which I think works well with all of that's in all of these photos. So I have that one. And then I picked out this one, which is just called Moonshine, and I did it for the fact that it's just mostly clear, but it adds some nice sparkle to it, and it would help the white with the windows and with these circles. I have these little items, which aren't sequins, they're little plastic tubes, and I've had them forever, and I would love it if maybe I could use up the rest of those, because the color is pretty well matched to these. I have a similar thing here, if I can get them open, there we go, in kind of a burnished gold look, so those might serve well. And then I have these, which are kind of a pewter with a slight little purple tone, depending on how you look at them. So I'm not sure that those are going to go, but I like the idea of them. And then I have these, which are tiny little gold stars, and then they have little discs in there, and I thought maybe just a little bit of those. If I use this, I don't know that I need both, but I have them just in case, so I can throw them in if I want to. I realized as I started putting some things together that I didn't have any red, and to my shock, I have very few red sequins. Like, these are kind of it right here, so I'm going to use what's left in that package. I do have this as well, where I could pick out the little squares if I wanted and just use those, and I'll consider it, but I want to see how far the little discs get me first before I do that. I didn't feel like I had enough red, so I did end up going in here and using some of this, and I actually decided just to use the mix as is, because that aqua color in there is pretty perfect. So I used some of that. I didn't end up using either of these, so I can just put those away, which is fine. And now I have my mix. I did add in some of the brown and gold option as well. So this is what I'm left with here. And now I am ready to see how much of that will actually fit in this pocket right here. All right, I have it all in the pocket. I'm happy with the way it looks. Sometimes I take out or change things, but I like the way that looks, so we're good there. And then I've left enough room here where I should be able to seal that without a problem. My tool has been heating up for at least 15 minutes, which is what I recommend, so that is ready to go as well. I've got my little tool here, so then I'm just going to seal the pocket, and hopefully that part is done. Ta-da! I have sealed the pocket. Isn't she beautiful? I love it. I did run over just a hair here, but since this is a circle that can slide in and out, that's perfect because it won't hurt anything, given that happened. If you are going to do it in the middle of the page, watch your lines carefully. This one I did perfectly. This one a little bit over, but not bad. I'm happy with it. I wouldn't redo it just for that little bit. So now I can move on to placing my circles. I've already placed these. I took off the backing pieces and they're all set. For this one, I have the back side in, but there I want to use one of my little stars. I think I'm going to use the medium size. This felt a little too small, this a little too big, so this will be perfect. So I can just place it right in the center there, and then that will sit on top of the other one. As I've been working on this, I decided that I did want to print out one more photo for each side just to fill in a few of the pockets. And so I have gone into Project Life, and these are the two I selected. I'm going to print them on a 4x6, and then I'll cut them down from there. All right, I have printed my pictures here. I do have the option of printing at home. So now all I have to do is just cut them down to what I want them and place them in the pockets. All right, so I added in this photo on this side and then this photo on the other side. So this side is actually done, which is awesome. I don't know that I'm going to embellish on the actual photos. I think I'll just leave them. But then on this side, I have to figure out what's going to go here. And then for my circle, I have to put something in here. I'm thinking a star to mimic the other side, but not red. I also have gold and white, so I may choose one of those options. I've decided to go with gold, and because these are sized slightly differently, these actually have centers that pop out in a lot of them. I really want this size. Now it does have a center that pops out, but I don't want that, so I will just choose to leave it as is, as long as it will stay. And then just place it like that, and just leave it whole, just like that. I can put it in the pocket, and then all I have left is this. For this one, I actually decided to go back and punch a white circle between them after all, and then I just strategically placed my mono adhesive. You can see a tiny little bit behind that H, but hopefully not a lot. And over here you can't see any because it's behind the star. So I like the way those look. Now it's truly just getting this pocket. I didn't have any ideas immediately coming to me for filling this pocket, so I decided to cop out a little bit and print another photo. So I found another one that I hadn't used for anything that was just kind of an extra. Printed it, cut it down, and then it can go right in that pocket. It's even got a little bit of red in it, which is awesome. So there we go. So here's how it came out. Whoops, there we go. With the front side, if my camera will focus, there we go. Front side, and then there's the reverse side. And I love the way it came out. I love I got to use some of the circles and some sequins. So here's another one done for Dublin. Thanks for watching.